Hey guys, this is Alex Van Houten with Defining Dad Bod. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to have a talk about alcohol. Not sure what portion of your health and fitness is affected by alcohol, but if you or somebody you know are a regular drinker of alcohol, you're going to want to hear these things. So, the 4 ways that alcohol affects your fitness. Let's dive in. First, alcohol halts fat metabolism. I'll say that again. Alcohol halts fat metabolism. If I could sum up everything I know about metabolism in one sentence, I could say that anytime you're not burning fat is a bad time for you, which is a big deal when it comes to alcohol, since alcohol halts fat metabolism. How does that work? Alcohol is actually ethanol. When you consume alcohol in a beer or a bourbon or wine, alcohol is actually ethanol. And ethanol is broken down in the body into a compound called acetaldehyde or acetaldehyde, depending on how you pronounce that. However much organic chemistry you might have taken in high school. And then acetaldehyde is actually broken all the way down into a compound called acetyl-CoA. And acetyl-CoA in the body is used directly to create ATP. What you need to know about that is that when you consume alcohol, your body identifies it as a toxin, and then it immediately stops metabolizing anything else. It stops metabolizing carbohydrates, it stops metabolizing fat, it stops metabolizing muscle tissue, and it works really hard to get that alcohol out of your system really fast. And so, when you're consuming alcohol, everything that you eat after that is going straight to your love handles because you aren't going to burn that as a fuel source because you're busy metabolizing the alcohol out of your system. So, point 1, alcohol halts fat metabolism. If you have a body composition goal for your dad bod or your mom bod, then you need to be smart about your alcohol consumption if you consume it at all, since it's halting your fat metabolism. Second, alcohol inhibits nutrient absorption. Alcohol inhibits nutrient absorption, meaning that after you consume alcohol, anything that you consume thereafter, you're going to have a hard time consuming the vitamin D, the vitamin B, the vitamin K, the magnesium, the manganese, all the good stuff that doesn't show up in your calorie count that your body still needs as a building block for creating energy, for fueling different chemical reactions in the system, then you're actually inhibiting that nutrient absorption. And so if you are consuming alcohol, then it's going to be important to make sure that you are replenishing those nutrients that you're not getting when you eat your food thereafter. So consuming a multivitamin, maybe having branched chain amino acids, something along those lines to help you kind of shore that up. Or again, like I said, you could just not consume it at all and get plenty of nutrients from the food you are eating. Completely up to you. Third, and this might be the most important, so listen really closely. Alcohol dysregulates your hormonal system. Alcohol dysregulates your hormonal system. So, especially in men, in women, this is also true. However, in men, it's a little more poignant. So, there was a study done on lab rats, and as always, the citations are in the description for the podcast below if you want to look into this. But what they did is they actually fed one group of rats 5% of their total calories a day in alcohol or ethanol, like I said earlier. If we made that equivalent to men, an average man consuming 2,000 calories would have to consume about 2 servings, 2 beers, a shot and a half of whiskey, whatever it is that you're drinking, in order to get the same results from this particular research. What they found in these rats is that only 5% alcohol in their total caloric intake reduced their testicle size 50%. Gentlemen, this is pretty important. Now, I understand that these are rats, and so it doesn't translate exactly to human beings. It might be a little unethical to do this study on human beings, since the way they checked the rats' testicle mass is they killed them and weighed their removed testicles. But that being said, a reduction in your testicle size of 50% would obviously have some significant repercussions with regard to your hormones. So when you actually look in human beings, though, there is a direct correlation with alcohol consumption and a reduction in testosterone, an increase in estrogen, and an increase in cortisol, since alcohol generally reduces your sleep quality. You'll fall asleep easier, but while you're asleep, you won't sleep as deeply, and therefore it won't be quite as restorative as if you just slept without alcohol in your system. So alcohol dysregulates hormones, lowers testosterone, increases estrogen, which is bad both if you're male or female, and then increases cortisol, which is bad no matter who you are, since cortisol is catabolic. It's the stress hormone that breaks down your muscle tissue and causes you to gain fat in your midsection. And then last but not least, and this dysregulates hormones, those of you who appreciate a good craft beer, you should note that hops actually metabolizes into estrogenic compounds in the bloodstream. So beer, generally brewed with wheat, hops, barley. Hops is generally metabolized into an estrogenic compound in the body. So it doesn't actually increase your estrogen, but the compounds that it is broken down into can act as estrogen in the body. So effectively not increasing actual estrogen, the hormone, but increasing the effects of estrogen in the body, which might be fat accumulation in the thighs and triceps and fat accumulation in the chest area, affectionately called man boobs in common nomenclature, right? So last but not least, the fourth effect of alcohol on your body is actually the good stuff. So we see a reduction in Alzheimer's risk correlated with alcohol consumption. We see a reduction in cardiovascular disease risk associated with alcohol consumption. And we also see an increase in immune system function in relation to alcohol consumption. Now, what's important to note about this is that these positive effects only seem to happen in low to moderate drinkers. So for men, that's 3 to 5 drinks a week. 3 to 5 drinks a week. And in women, that's 2 to 4 drinks per week. That would put you in the low to moderate range of alcohol consumption. That being said, I would also like to note for you that a reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease, an increased function of the immune system, and a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease, they are all effects associated with exercising well and eating well in your life. So if you exercise 3 days a week, if you get 10,000 steps per day, if you consume a diet high in vegetables, healthy fats, and low in processed food and hormone-laden proteins, then you're going to see an increase in your immune system, a decrease in Alzheimer's risk, and a decrease in cardiovascular disease risk. So what I'm saying to you is that all the proposed benefits of consuming alcohol are also proposed benefits of generally just eating healthy and exercising regularly. So I leave the choice to you guys about whether or not alcohol needs to be a part of your health and fitness in your home. I wouldn't call my personal approach puritanical by any means. I enjoy a beer every once in a while I'm working in the garage on a carpentry project. I enjoy a glass of wine on my anniversary, and I'm always down for a great conversation over a drink with a good friend. However, if alcohol consumption is something that is regularly a part of your health and fitness, I hope that you'll look through these costs and benefits and make an intelligent decision for you and your household and your body. Until next time, this is Alex with Defining Dad Bod. I hope you found this information useful, and if so, you share it with the people in your life who need to hear it. Kick butt, take names, and be smart with your alcohol intake.